I don't think videos describe how bad this disaster is. Alrighty, welcome to this vlog. Lydia's looking fire.
I'm half ready.
Riker's chilling in his pajamas. It is early morning. And we have a last minute thing that came up and we wanted to share with y'all and also bring y'all along. So Riker's trying to tell you all about it.
What's your opinion, Riker?
Yeah?
Is that...
Hey. Hey. So, I know many of y'all know the big old disaster and hurricane that hit Florida and then went all the way up through Asheville and Tennessee, and it was a terrible disaster. And thankfully, there is people over there helping, and MediCorps, the organization I volunteer for, has been on the ground ever since it really happened, and he's trying to tell you all about it. He has been on the ground ever since this happened and has done incredible work over there. They have delivered Starlinks to places that had no power. They've delivered water and generators and set up water filters and medical and all kinds of stuff. And so I'm going to get like a little video for them and share with y'all what they have been doing, an overview of what they've been doing for the last couple weeks.
Guys, we just got more Starlink and a Chinook load of supplies out to Frank Fire Department. We're working on getting more. We're trying to touch every fire department all across the region. Thank you, Elon Musk and SpaceX, Ivanka, for getting these 300 Starlinks out to us and making a world of difference for us.
In response to Hurricane Helene, MediCorps put together a mapping system of all the fire stations in the western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee regions. Thanks to the generosity of Elon Musk and SpaceX, MediCorps was able to deliver hundreds of Starlinks to these areas.
Hi, I'm Chief Josh Gerard with Clearmont Volunteer Fire Department, and I just want to express my gratitude to you. I would like to thank you so much for the donation of these Starlinks. These Starlinks has made so many people so much better off. Our community now has access to Wi-Fi through these, as well as our community has access to further supplies. Okay, without them Starlinks, we could not cover this entire area with the supplies that we needed. We now have Chinooks and we have Blackhawks setting down because we have access to the outside world because of these Starlinks. Without this, we would lose so much supplies and we would have so much stuff that would be unavailable to the public here and to the people that's in need, the people without power. We've got so many generators today just because of Starlink, and we are so happy and grateful for it, and you have no idea how much easier and better it has made it on us. Thank you very much.
Good morning. We are back at it again, heading out to pickup of an elderly lady, 94 years old. We were contacted by some of her family that she's in an area that you cannot access by road, and they have got her a way to get out. If we can get her to the commercial airport in Asheville, extract her and get her safely, we're going to fly in and on that commercial flight with her family so she can get out to be somewhere.
Over the next couple of weeks, MediCorps continued to deploy Starlinks across the affected area to supply distribution centers, churches, medical clinics, businesses, colleges, those with medical needs, and others that are helping the community. Now with communication abilities, those that have need of critical aid and supplies are able to be in direct contact with those bringing them, as well as their loved ones. As Medicorps worked with the fire stations to identify the long-term needs of those in the community, one great concern was the loss of firewood. As Hurricane Helene swept through, it took with it months' worth of heat for those that use fireplaces and stoves for their heat source for the winter. Medicorps was able to facilitate bringing in log splitters to have at local fire stations and supply distribution centers to mass cut firewood for those in the community. Thank you for supporting Medicorps as they continue to respond to Hurricane Helene.
But on another note, there was a national disaster in Spain that happened just, I think, yesterday or the day before. And it was a massive flooding, similar to like North Carolina, and I think over 200 are dead, unfortunately, and still some are missing. And it's just absolutely terrible. All the cars are pushed together, houses wiped away, absolutely devastating over there. So Medicorps is sending a couple people over to Spain to bring Starlinks, so taking 50 Starlinks, but also going to help out however we can, meet in the hospitals, see if there's medical, whatever we can do to help out. And maybe that's just getting Starlink set up so they have communication where they lost all power and all stuff like that. So please pray for us as I am about to head out, and unfortunately that leaves Lydia with Riker for probably a week, and that is not easy with a 13-month-old.
We'll go see Oma, all the family, do play dates, make him come to my workouts. We'll see what we can do.
So I am about to head out the door and drive to meet up with the other gentleman I'm going with, Andreas, in Johnson City, and then we're driving from there to Raleigh and then getting on a flight to Barcelona. It was a very last minute thing. I was up till 2 or 3 last night trying to figure it out and making sure that I could swing this, because I hate leaving my son and I also hate leaving my wife. You can see
He can tell you're leaving.
really likes me.
It's his favorite.
Hey. You know, talk to them again. Say hey.
See what you're talking about, Riker?
Yeah.
You gotta say a lot of little words.
Say hey. Yeah. Yeah. Just please keep Lydia and Riker in your prayer, but also keep all the people in Spain in your prayer, and then safe travels over there. And the work that Medicorps has done in North Carolina has been absolutely incredible. The Lord has opened so many doors, and they've been able to help so many people. So a big shout out to all the people over there that are helping, and not just Medicorps, all the other organizations. Shout out to everyone over there. All the people that have been working over there and trying to fix all the disasters from Hurricane Helene. Please keep them in your prayers, because I know national media really hits it hard right when it happens and a little bit after. But there are still things they need, and there's still a big need over there. So keep them in your prayers, and shout out to all the people working over there and helping with that big disaster. All right, so we have touched down in Spain and Barcelona, and we're driving to the affected areas, and Andreas is going to give us a little rundown of what we got and some of the contacts he's already made, and try to just show you the work that Medicorps does and that is still doing.
Sure. One of the big key parts before arrival is contacts. I laugh because I say that, and we make a big effort to have contacts before we come, but it seems like the last few disasters, it's not until we touch down that we actually start with the phone calls, or they actually come back to us. And literally when we were at the airport waiting for our luggage, we got our first contact saying he was available for a conversation. I actually have somebody calling us right back, so let's take this call first. Hey, Christine.
Hey, so that didn't work.
Oh, sorry.
It goes straight to voicemail, but that's okay. We can probably talk better when you're here safe and sound in Valencia.
Okay.
I've spoken with Isabel and Juarez, the couple who are leading the coordination efforts for Alfaro. They are happy to meet you at the church today, and at least give you a place to touch down at and kind of get the lay of the land. They've also offered their home for you guys to stay in if you need a place to stay this evening, and maybe just an opportunity for us to get a chance to chat a little bit more about what you were just walking me through as far as how you guys normally operate, what you're looking to do in the area, and just see how we can also help support that effort and make it the most effective possible for the people in need. If that sounds okay for you guys.
That sounds great. That sounds great. But I insist
Awesome.
it's the other way around. It should be us supporting you guys.
Great. Well, we'll all be supporting each other, and good, fruitful awesomeness will happen and come as a result of it. But any additional help is much appreciated. And I think the most important thing right now, from just the organizations that I've been talking to in the area, is coordination.
Yep.
There's a lot of supplies, but it's just completely chaotic and discoordinated from the government level. It's just all over the place. So I think the greatest need at the moment is that organization and coordination of efforts so that they are effective, and the people who this wonderful wave of solidarity that we're seeing in the Valencian community being channeled in a way that helps others, both short and long term, as you were mentioning. So I think that's definitely one key area we could use some help on from the start, for sure.
Right. We're happy to help if that's something that you guys, I guess once we sit down and talk and see. Since I do hear everything you say, I think it's more on my end that it gets cut off. Can you tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. My name is Christine. I've been a member of El Faro since about 2019. I live in Spain, but I'm originally from North Carolina, so I'm extremely grateful for the effort and help that you guys have been doing there. I've got family in that area of the world, so it's close to home.
So we just want to give you a brief update of kind of why we are in Spain and the disaster that happened, because I feel like a lot of national media really didn't talk on it or is really showing it with it right around the election. So Andres knows a lot more about it, so he's going to go in depth about kind of what happened and then why we are here.
Sure. What happened in Spain, in the southern region of Spain, is not something new. There's a phenomenon that happens in the atmosphere where a certain layer of the atmosphere cools rapidly. And then when it comes from the ocean over inland, it creates a lot of moisture, and then that turns into heavy torrential rains. So you'll have some places that will get the equivalent of 1 year of rain in 1 day, or like 1 week and 1 hour. It's just a lot of rain.
Wow.
And if it's more than the ground can absorb that, which it was, then the water just rushes down. But the amount of water that rushed down was an incredible force. I've heard somebody say recently, actually it was your dad saying that, there's a few forces that can change everything for us, even in the United States, and that's air, water, and fire, and I will add earth as well because of the earthquakes. Right. But people went from every day at the city, going to work, parking their cars, to everything getting washed down, and cars piled on top of each other, as well as all the mud and trees and everything that came with that. And Trace and I have watched a couple of videos. There are cars completely buried under mud right now, and they're still digging them out and looking for survivors. And so it's a very dramatic event, and it happened very fast, and it affected a lot of people. And not only that, but then it rained the next day, and even today when we were landing, it was raining a little bit. So yeah, it's very life-changing and devastating for people.
So I will be popping up some of those photos just to show y'all how bad it is, and just because it's hard to describe what we have saw online from the photos, and we're not that far away from being there, and we will try to bring you along and just kind of show you what Medicorps does and how we can fill the gaps and help any way we can. Alrighty, so I wanted to give you a little update. The Lord really opened the door for us with the right contacting and meeting the right people so far, and we were able to meet with this wonderful church that is already doing a lot and trying to organize and just go through these different stages. So we are today going into the villages and up to the mountains to different areas that have some of the power back on, but there is no cell service, no Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So also seeing what else we can do as far as helping these people. Andres, what's your input?
I think Tracy nailed it. It's exactly it. We're gonna try to hit what people call ground zero, the most affected areas. Even not far from here, we're in Valencia right now, and as you go into the outskirts of the city, you run into some of these communities that were pretty much washed away by torrential downpours, and then the water kind of following down the streets. We just want to go and walk with the people, meet the people, hear the stories, and make some connections for a proper response.
We just drove through Valencia today, one of the areas that was hit really hard, and I'm gonna pop up some of the footage on the screen right now, but the devastation is just absolutely unreal of how sad, and within hours people's lives turned upside down. And Andres could share a little bit of what we got going on right now and what we plan on doing and how we plan on helping here in Spain.
So we are fortunate to be able to be at the Emergency Command Center here in Valencia, one of the emergency command centers. And we just met with the Director of Civil Protection. And he is very grateful. We installed a Starlink now that the people running operations here can use. And he's now granted us access to all the regions, because you cannot go to some of these regions without proper clearance. But he made it possible for us to access any region now. And we hope to get a list soon of areas that don't have communications. And once we get that tomorrow, we hope to be able to reestablish communications through installation of a Starlink.
But thank you for continuing praying for us. We really appreciate it, and we can't wait to share and give y'all more updates of what the Lord is doing over here in Spain. All right, I'm going to give you a quick update. We were able to install Starlink yesterday at the command center, and it took a long time, but they were able to give us this paper that is from the police. So it'll give us access so we can get to these areas and install Starlinks. Just talking to the different people here at the command center was saying a lot of places they do not have good communication, they do not have good Wi-Fi. So we're gonna go set up some of these Starlinks at schools, at some of the distribution places where they're giving out food and water and stuff like that. And then also we're going to be looking to see if there's anything else we can do to help ours, maybe getting supplies in or whatever else we can do. So the Lord has opened a lot of doors. The disaster here is absolutely awful. A lot of people lost their homes, flooding all in their homes, and so continue to pray for the people here in Spain. It's also incredible to see the amount of people that are volunteering to help. So a lot of the people bring brooms to clean houses and shovels and shovel the mud. So even when you drive down there, you see people walking everywhere, just spending their whole day helping other people, and that is incredible. And we're just glad we're able to help in any way we can. All right, I'm here at a distribution center, and let me tell you, there is hundreds of people here, hundreds of workers that sleep here, that have no Wi-Fi, no service. So we're setting up a Starlink so people here have service, going to be able to communicate, and working on that right now. Here's the Starlink. We have to get it aligned to go north, and then we got it up high on the roof. So this is already making a huge help, and will make a huge help all around. What they do is they pile up everything to clear the streets so people can get through, and they come back and clear all of the debris and mud. But like you can see, almost everyone has shovels and brooms and doing everything they can to help. We are here in Spain. We've been here for 6 days and been around helping how we can. And just to give y'all an update of what happened, because it's hard for me to imagine, everything that happened, because it started raining up on the mountains, and then down in the city and in the valley, they didn't really know a flood was coming at all. And then at like 8 o'clock, they were told, hey, heavy rains from the government, and then from 8 to 8:30, it was already just water rushing. 3, 4, I mean, how high was it down in Pikeport? It was like, what, 10 feet high?
Yeah, so it's about 4 meters.
Washing half the houses away, washing cars away. People went down to go get their cars and just never came back. In the videos, you can see people on top of cars getting washed away, people jumping off into the water, going under, and you never seeing them again. And it happened so instant and so fast that so many people lost their life. So many people lost cars. They're estimating over 150,000 cars were damaged and lost, which is just unreal. We're helping with churches, we're helping with distribution. Like I said, Starlink's doing everything we can to help for the people of Spain. But please, keep Spain in your prayers. They really need it, and they're much appreciated. I don't think videos describe how bad this disaster is. They're currently trying to drain all the water. All right, Andreas, you want to give us a little update? It is the evening over here in Spain. We've had a long day. We still are about to go install another Starlink at a church that has no good service. The phone service and power is on, but they have no good service at this location. It's a distribution center, so we're trying to get them good Wi-Fi so they can get back online. But Andreas is going to give you just a rundown of what we've been doing and how you can help, and also you can continue to pray for the people of Spain.
Sure. As you've been seeing from Trace updates, we're here initially supporting the emergency services, right? Because if the fire department, the police, and the civil response cannot help the individuals, then nothing can be accomplished. So we've done that from day one, and we set up command centers, we set up distribution centers, and then we've enabled buildings that are still covered with mud, but they're about to be cleaned so that people can come in and be processed to start getting the federal aid, or I don't know if federal will be the term here, but to get the aid from the government. So that was the first part. The next part, we moved on to helping other places that see large volumes of people. There was one place of college, and what they do is they house the volunteers there. So there's dozens, if not hundreds of volunteers that are coming every day, and some of them are spending the night there. So the Starlink allows them to have good communication with the outside. One of the things that the pastor said was we could have really used a Starlink at the beginning of the disaster, because we could only get a text out and sometimes a call, but we couldn't get WhatsApp messages. WhatsApp is widely used in Europe. Just about every person has a WhatsApp account. They can take pictures, they can send videos and show what's happening and send it to people and communicate better. So that's one of the big helps of that. The other things we're working on is supporting churches as needed. We're helping them identify needs. Even today we showed up and the pastor's like struggling to think, we're working 14 hours a day. We don't even know what we need. But you're right, we could use some of that, and we don't have enough formula for children, and we don't have enough food. So we were fortunate that we talked to a larger church near the center that does have a lot more support and resources, and we made that connection. And they're already loading some trucks to send food to support the church and the community here. And that's one of the things that we can do through Medicorps, is make the connection, help with the logistical support and the organization. So one way that you guys can help, of course, pray for the work here, pray for the churches. Another way is you can support through Medicorps, which is the organization we're volunteering with, because the resources that are donated and the funding can be used directly for purchasing things like a pressure washer, which we've been doing. We just donated one to this church. And they said this is an absolute gift, because now we can go in the community and help them clean their houses and get the mud off, to help them get back on their feet so that they can start refurnishing and everything. And they said, we'll give it back when we're done. And we said, no, this is a gift. You can take it. So we would like to do this in a larger scale. And so we appreciate for the funding. We appreciate for your prayers and for your support in any way.
I have been on the ground here in Spain for over a week, and We just got a call from the director of civil protection, and he was like, we have an emergency. We have one of our other places that has no Wi-Fi and really needs it. So we were able to make it over here pretty fast, set up a Starlink for them, and get them back online so they can do the work they need to help all the people that are still in need. I want to thank you for praying for the people in Spain. They definitely need it. And still, after almost 2 weeks since the disaster, there are still roads with mud on them. There's still trash all in the streets. Cars are still on the side of the streets that they're trying to make a pile for them. Over 122,000 vehicles completely destroyed. More than 500,000 individuals were directly affected by the flooding. Y'all, that's a ton. So thank you for praying, and thank you for watching this vlog. I will try to update you as much as I can in the future, but thank you.